Hi everyone, this is David Favela and
Hi, I'm Christiana Russell.
coming from UCSD's campus in the building of Office of Innovation,
That's correct.
Design, Innovation Building. This is the Talent Foundry with your update for today with all the news you want to know about the Talent Foundry itself and some of the insights that we're collecting because that's really what it's about, isn't it, Christiana? Learning.
It's all about learning and about utilizing resources that are available to us.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll kick it off with some of the most exciting news. So we are up to 52.
I believe last we checked, we're sitting in the 50s with the number of applicants for the Talent Foundry. Can you believe that?
That's incredible. That is incredible.
With zero advertisement.
Yes.
Let's just talk about that. Like,
Yeah,
we have not spent not one amount of dollar
No.
on ads. This
Yeah.
is all word of mouth. This is something you all should take notice of, right?
Mhm.
Your network is your net worth. We haven't spent any money on ads. All we've done is just shown up and connected with people in the community.
And it's a huge, huge deal.
Yeah.
From a programmatic perspective, we were looking at hitting 50 towards the end of the summer after a prolonged marketing campaign,
Right.
getting the word out. And here we are at 52, and it's like, wait a second, something's going on here. So,
Yeah. No, I think actually, it's so funny when you said something's going on here. I think that this is kind of like a breath of fresh air to the market of what's available
yeah,
because we're not an accelerator, right? We're not an incubator.
we're not at boot camp.
We're not a boot camp, but what we do is just help. We're kind of like those people that, when you're in the plane and you're waiting for the plane to start to move and take off, but there's these directors that are down below and they're so important to the whole flight plan of getting out of the airport. If you don't have those individuals down there with those little markers that's guiding, then you're gonna have some trouble. I feel like that's who we are, David. I think we are. What are those individuals called? Do you know their name?
I don't know, but
We're,
they got the colored lights. They,
yeah, we need
the
colored
dark,
lights,
stormy
y'all.
night. They know you. They tell you which way to go. Otherwise, you'd be lost.
We are the ones in the dark, stormy night for founders.
So if you know what those folks are called, I want to say signalmen, but I'm not sure. Put it down in the comments. Let us know what
Yeah.
those folks are.
Yeah.
But the very cool thing is not only do we have 52 people who signed up, but you and I have been very busy
Yeah.
meeting. I think we're around 13, 14 of the first original,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. It's so funny when you start thinking of this in a theoretical way, right? It's like, oh, yeah, we can do this. Yeah, we can do those numbers. And then when it's actually time to put the rubber to the mat, it's like, wait, what? We're doing what? With how many? And who's doing it? And what? So I think that that's part of where we find ourselves, where it's finding our harmony
Yeah.
with everything, connecting with the founders, making sure that you all are connected to us and we are to you, and understanding the dynamics of the company. I mean, I did not realize, I don't know about you, but I did not realize how didactic a lot of the front end work was going to be with understanding
Yeah.
the founder and their company, and because they tell you, right, when you do, y'all know you, right? When you fill out that first form of assessment, it's like, oh yeah, da, da, da. And then you start meeting with them, you're like, well, wait a minute. Oh, well, wait a minute. There's just
Yeah.
so many different layers. So I think that's where I'm finding a lot of time is being spent, is just really sitting to understand the founder and where they are and why do they see themselves where they are, and how we can help to guide them along.
No, it's absolutely critical to be a great listener.
Yeah.
Not go into these meetings with entrepreneurs or the founders with some preconceived notions of who they
Right.
are or what they are, or what they're
Yeah.
trying to do, or what they're struggling with. So really that's what it's about right now. This phase, I'd call this phase 1 was developing the program. Phase 2 is what we're in right now, which is really starting to build the infrastructure,
Yeah.
the approach, the record keeping. Because one of the most important things is not only are we committed to helping the founders build their companies,
Mhm.
but we're also committed to capturing the data behind it, because it's it's really important. This isn't really about just helping the founders in the program. It's about really understanding at a profound level what is affecting these communities. Why are we not as out there in the entrepreneurial world building the companies that are scaling into the millions of dollars?
Yeah.
So we need to learn.
We need to learn, and that takes a lot of intentional. What is the right word? Intentional, I think, gathering of data, like being very methodical about how that data is being collected, who's collecting it, and then what's being done with it after it's been collected, and how that's going to carry us to the next stage gate. What I'm excited about for us is that as we are going through this process, we are being very methodical about that, and we have some really great team members on our side helping us work through the logistics of that. Because one of the things that I'm excited about us coming out on the other side in a couple of years is really being able to understand the true needs of a BIPOC founder, and how we have not only been able to unearth what those needs are, but also provide some real tangible support that have yielded the successful outcomes for them to grow and scale their company. That's the whole point of the Talent Foundry.
That's the whole point of the Talent Foundry.
Yeah.
And some of the things that we've discovered are very interesting. Some of the founders struggle with different areas or have different challenges. Everything from product development process to putting together their pitch deck to figuring out not only put together the pitch deck, but how to approach investors, how to approach early adopters or companies that will adopt their solution. I've also seen kind of understanding the revenue model. Like some people will solve a problem and have a great app or whatever, but then it's like, oh yeah, how am I going to make money from this? And that's a really critical aspect. So little by little, we're starting to get that insight into those business protocols, procedures to kind of figure out what's important for a company when they're first starting up. And I love it. I got to tell you that you know, when they talk about the flow, you know, when you're just like doing what you want to be doing and loving it. When I'm with my entrepreneurs and we're just like, I'm learning, I'm listening, and then I'm starting to put together kind of ideas that they feed me. I try to bounce back their own questions, their own ideas, but try to put it together in a different package. And I love that.
That is one of my favorite. And you hit a sweet spot there when you said when you really get in that flow. And that's part of, I think, what's really marvelous about the Talent Foundry is that we help our founders, we meet our founders first and foremost where they are, and then work with them to get them to that place of flow, which can be challenging because there's a lot of outside layers that are impacting their ability to get there. That all of us are facing, right? They're not exclusive to being of a specific ethnic group or social economic. It just can be more hyper or more profound with those other aspects attached to it. But what I appreciate most about us is that we address it with, I think, a very methodical, research, evidence-based approach with looking at the mindset of the founder and understanding where they are, where they want to be, and how we're going to help them get there. And if there's at some moment where we need to take a step back, because oftentimes we don't think about this as founders, is that you're still moving forward when you have to take a step back or when you have to stop, right? So what are your thoughts about that? How do you effectively communicate with founders when you recognize that that's the intersection that you come to with them?
Well, that's one of the toughest things is as a founder, you know, your main strength is your persistent. You have the perseverance, you have this vision, and you're driving towards it despite all the signals that you may or may not be on the right path. And that's a real interesting process because it's a careful balance between here's what my original idea is, but here's this new input that's telling me that maybe I need to pivot. Maybe I need to rethink it. Maybe I need to reconfigure it. Maybe I should consider the customer in my solution.
Oh.
What a novel concept. And so it is common. Giving up on the exact way you were going to execute it is not giving up.
Right.
It's
right.
it's reassimilating new input, repositioning yourself. I call it taking one step backwards to
Yeah.
take two forward.
Yeah.
Because if you ignore the input, if you're just persevering, persistent, in the worst case stubborn,
Mm-hmm.
that's not a good thing.
No.
So it's a very careful thing. I'm not sure. You know, that's one of the things about this program is Christiana and I, we're not only innovating this program from the kinds of services that we provide and the way that we provide them one-on-one versus a classroom environment.
Right.
We're with them, and so
We
we're
are.
kind of co-pilot in some of this decision making.
We
And-
definitely are.
Yeah.
That's such a good way to put it. Now we're back at the plane analogy. See? Telling you, I'm onto something here.
So it's a very careful balance, and I try to be very careful because we're not the ultimate judge or jury
No.
on any idea or strategy. We
Right.
provide a space for ideas to emerge. We create a space for new concepts to be integrated into their business model.
Yes.
And that's really it. At the end of the day, I see myself as someone who's providing options
Absolutely.
and helping them understand and speak through their own mindset and why they're doing and how they're doing. And then there are these options. They're like, okay. And again, it's not failure. Integration of new input is absolutely essential in making your business succeed.
Absolutely. I was just going through my phone. I was listening to you, but listen, you all. One of the things that have really helped me on my own personal journey as an entrepreneur is recognizing, one, self-awareness is key, right? Emotional intelligence is hyper important. And I also recognize having space, and it's difficult, especially when you have this looming sense of, I need to get this taken care of, need to execute this so I can get funding coming in, right? If it's something connected to funding, or you just feel like you're so close
Yeah.
to hitting that pivotal moment of striking gold with your company. And yet, there is still so much more that you can do to help rise to the place of where you need to be in order to kind of put your company over the top. And one of the things that I realized that I consistently must always find time for is investing in reading. And I put aside a couple of books that I have a top 5 that I've been working through for the last 4 or 5 months. And so I want to read off this list to you all. And these are books for anyone who has different levels of strategy that they're working on with their business or negotiating, or maybe you're struggling with marketing and branding, which, hello, my name is Christiana. These are some really good books. So if you all, I'll also put this in the comments as well. And David, definitely chime in and tell me if you've read any of these. But so I have 5. Here's the top 5: Blue Ocean Strategy, Power versus Force, Unreasonable Hospitality, which is a really, really good one to deep dive into. Crucial Conversations. How many of us have, you literally try to avoid those uncomfortable conversations, but there are crucial conversations you need to be comfortable with having, especially as you are building your business. And the 5th one is Positioning. And all of these books are to help you at different stage gates of your business, whether it's your finances that you're working on, marketing and branding, like I said, maybe it's negotiating. If I haven't already said that one already, I feel like I have, or maybe I've just been thinking it because, hi, my name is Christiana and I need to work on it. But what I found is these are powerful tools to help you work through the start-stop conversation that's happening in your head with when you're in front of the B2B business, or maybe it's a B2C situation, or maybe you're sitting with your mentor or coach and you don't know all the right questions to ask, but you know there's more that you can deep dive into. Let me tell you, these books, again, I'll put them in the comment area, but.
That's right. One of the most important books was Blue Ocean Strategy.
Right.
I actually built my brewery based on that concept.
Stop, see?
Yeah. So yeah, there's nuggets of knowledge out there that you need to incorporate in your decision making.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of them. So switching gears, bringing it home.
Yeah.
What do we have to look forward to in the next coming months? Just off the top of your head, I'll get started. I am so interested in finishing off our reports and giving updates out to the community, generic updates.
Absolutely.
How many people in the program, the kinds of industries that they're in. I would love to talk a little bit more about what the Talent Foundry is doing, kind of the general outline of all the different companies involved. Because frankly, it's so broad. We're doing advanced molecular diagnostics to, a better bed sheet,
Right.
a patented technology there. I just love it. I love it. So that'll be, I think, a big thing that we should probably focus on in the coming months.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
letting the community know, how big the program is becoming. The second thing you brought up, and you may want to talk about it, is how do we inject a little dynamism into the progress that they're making? Because again, the Talent Foundry is not about simply communicating information or education.
Yeah.
It's about helping our founders make progress.
Right.
And so we're trying to think of ways to show that progress in a way where you can actually see the companies move forward from I have an idea, I've got a prototype, I'm working with customers, to I'm doing pitches to get my money. I got my money, now I'm hiring and I'm off into the races.
Well, what's really exciting about that is that's through our storytelling. So spaces like this. I mean, we have this beautiful podcast room. Shout out to Doug Bonilla for putting together Studio 411 and allowing our founders to tell their story at different stage gates of it. I think that's something that's crucial for those that are either thinking about getting into the space, have already gotten into the space, or you're working to get some traction, is having those stories that they can tune into and go, oh, okay, I'm not alone, or oh, here's some valuable information, or oh, this is where I can go to help me scale my company. I think that's really important, is having those spaces. So I think things like this, you all will be getting a lot more content from us. And I think the other thing that I'm excited about outside of the data, because we're two data nerds over here, but is the storytelling that comes in the visual sense of events. We are going to be shouting out soon, not right now, we're still working to put it all together, but we're going to be talking with you all about some events that we want you all to come and attend. But that's part of the excitement for me, is celebrating the success and taking time out to not just celebrate, but also, what do you always say? We do business and we bring business. And I think that we are the true essence of what that looks like, in the sense that we do it from the top all the way down to the bottom, right? So, we bring companies in here who are at the ideation stage or growth stage or about to scale. And we also look at companies that need to be part of the vendors for the institution, to give them opportunity to grow and scale. So I just share all of this because when we think about celebrating, oftentimes we just think about the fun party stuff, but I love that we are cross-pollinating it also with the work.
And I'm amazed that the third C is community and connection. That's where we're kind of fostering these networks. Correct. It's already working, and we only have 15 companies in. Imagine when we connect all 50. Imagine 75, 100. Some of those graduate, and then we bring in new companies. I mean, at the end of the day, we may, after 3 or 4 years, serve, what do you think, 200? 150, somewhere around there?
I mean, we could do more. If any of you all are listening and want to donate,
that's right.
Reach out to us, donate, sponsor. We can do a lot more. We can grow this, you all.
We can do it, absolutely. And so just in closing then, we have a celebration in May. We'll make a big announcement.
But don't give it away, David.
No, I can give away the name. It's the Spring Jam, because that's how we do it. So one of the things we want to be known for is throwing the best parties in the city. Is that right?
I mean, come on,
That's what I do for a living. I throw parties.
This is what he does. And he has the best beer.
So that's it today from the Talent Foundry. We hope you enjoyed the updates. We'll bring in more and more timely information in future ones. Tune in on Tuesdays. That's when we capture content. We publish it out there. And remember, the Talent Foundry is about three things. We're bringing diverse founders into the program. We're providing direct consulting,
Yeah.
both in business and mindset,
Right.
because knowing how to think about your business is as important, if not more, knowing how to execute your business.
Absolutely.
The second thing is we connect. So sometimes we may not be enough, although we are a lot. Yeah, we're a handful. But there are select areas where you need a scientist, a PhD, an
Yeah.
expert, a mentor, whatnot.
Yeah.
That's going to be one of the things we'll pride ourselves on, is creating those referral networks where we can
Absolutely.
get support for our founders so that they can make progress.
Yeah.
And lastly, what's the last C? Community?
Community. Community, I think, out of all of those is so vital, because even if you are struggling to find the right mentor and you're struggling to really connect with your consultant, right, the consulting component, but if you can connect with another peer in the group, if you can find that, and I mean, think about it. All of us have been in school or some type of setting where it's like the teacher and you were like two different pages. And, but you had someone in the classroom that would, kind of help break things down for you. So
That's right.
community is vital, and we have one here.
So if you have someone that you think would fit the program, if you think you would fit the program,
Yeah.
where could they get more information?
You all would want to get on that internet, that high wide web internet, and put in talentfoundry.ucsd.edu. That's talentfoundry.ucsd.edu.
Or send us an email at talentfoundry@ucsd.edu. You'll see it in the notes. We hope to hear from you soon,
Yeah.
and we'll sign off for today.
All right. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.